Chosen one, what they saw in your eyes straight up rocked their whole world. No cap. I'm talking about a level of recognition so deep, so wild, that it literally stopped them cold and flipped their entire reality in one single moment. Somebody's world just got completely turned upside down because of one look from you. And what I'm about to break down, 7 different types of people who get completely rocked when they look into your eyes, and each one gets shocked in a totally different way. Most chosen ones don't even realize they got this power. They walking around changing lives left and right just by looking at people, and they don't even know it's happening. By the time I'm done breaking this down, you're gonna understand exactly why people react to you the way they do, why some folks can't look you in the eye for too long, why others get obsessed after one conversation. The first type is the broken soul. This person been living in what you can only call an emotional prison, straight up. They trapped in circumstances that been draining every bit of energy from their being. Then you showed up, not by accident, by divine design. Your soul peeped their pain before your mind even caught up to what was going down. This one of your superpowers as a chosen one. You can see through the fake that fools everybody else. You can sense when someone drowns, even when they pretend to swim. You felt drawn to them magnetically. Your very being was pulled toward theirs, like 2 pieces of a cosmic puzzle, finally finding each other. Then it went down, the moment that changed everything. The look you gave them wasn't just a glance. It was a straight transmission of pure truth that traveled from your soul to theirs at light speed. In your eyes, they saw depths they didn't know could exist in another human being. They saw someone who wasn't scared of their darkness. You appeared to them as nothing short of an angel. You was the loving soul who somehow found them in their darkest hour, like a lighthouse appearing through the storm. In your eyes, they saw crazy depth, layers of wisdom and compassion that took their breath away. What you was offering was so pure, so genuine, that it shattered every defense mechanism they had spent years building. And in that moment, something extraordinary happened. In their mind, their thought pattern, stuck in endless loops of fear, suddenly shifted into an entirely different frequency. Where once their mind was flooded with anxiety, now there was love, joy, possibility, hope breaking through. You filled their mind, heart, and soul with love so pure that it started changing them from the inside out. They was aligning with a completely different frequency. You helped them remember they ain't their circumstances. They are soul infinite, powerful, free. The second type is the player street smart. This type thinks they got everybody figured out. They've been around the block, seen it all, done it all. They pride themselves on never being caught off guard. They can read people like books, or so they think. They walk with that confidence that says, I know what's up. They've been hustling, surviving, playing the game so long that they think they're immune to surprises. They got walls up, but different from the broken soul. These walls built from pride, not pain. When they first meet you, they trying to figure out your angle. What this person want from me? They approaching you with that street smart mentality, ready to protect themselves from whatever hustle they think you about to run. They might even try to test you at first. See if you gonna fall for their charm. See if you easy to manipulate. They throwing out their usual lines, watching for your reaction. But then they look into your eyes, and everything they thought they knew about people just went out the window. Your eyes don't play games. Your eyes don't front. Your eyes don't put on no performance. Your eyes just all minor, pure, authentic, real. They looking at you like, wait, what the? Because they can't categorize you. You don't fit in none of the boxes they use to understand people. You ain't trying to sell them nothing. You ain't running no game. Your eyes just steady looking at them with this calm, knowing energy that says, I see you, the real you, not the player. Not the hustler. I see the soul underneath all that, and that shook them. Because maybe it been years since somebody looked past their game to see who they really are. In your eyes, they saw genuine love, not the kind that wants something from them, just pure acceptance of who they are right now, game and all. They saw a type of power they ain't never encountered before. This wasn't power over people. This was power with people. This wasn't about dominating. This was about connecting soul to soul. Your eyes didn't judge their past. didn't judge the game they've been running. Your eyes just saw the beautiful soul that been hiding behind all that protection. But hold up, the third type's reaction is even more intense. The third type is the successful but empty. This person got everything society says they supposed to want. The money, the status, the recognition. They might be the CEO, the entrepreneur, the influencer with millions of followers. On paper, they live in the dream, but inside they feel hollow as hell. They've been chasing success for so long, they forgot what they was really searching for. They surrounded by people who want something from them. Their money, their connections, their influence, real relationships became rare. They don't know who genuinely cares about them versus who just wants to use them. Then they meet you. At first, they might approach you the same way they approach everything else. What value can this person bring to my life? How can this connection benefit me? But when they look into your eyes, they see something that all their money can't buy. They see something that all their success can achieve. They see peace, real peace. In your eyes, they see what fulfillment actually looks like. They realize they've been searching for this their whole life without even knowing it. Your eyes show them that true wealth ain't about what you have. It's about who you are. True success ain't about what you achieve. It's about how much love you can give and receive. They see in your eyes a richness that got nothing to do with bank accounts, a status that got nothing to do with titles, an influence that comes from authenticity, not manipulation. Your eyes don't care about their net worth, don't care about their accomplishments. Your eyes just see a soul that's been hungry for real nourishment. And maybe for the first time in years, they remember what it feels like to want something that money can't buy. The fourth type is the skeptic's logical mind. This person lives in the world of facts, data, and proof. They probably got degrees hanging on their wall. They the type who says, show me the evidence about everything. They don't believe in nothing they can't measure, test, or prove in a lab. Spiritual stuff, that's just wishful thinking. Energy, that's just pseudoscience. Soul connections, that's just chemical reactions in the brain. They pride themselves on being rational, logical, scientific. They look down on people who believe in woo-woo stuff. They think emotions are weaknesses that cloud judgment. This person probably been skeptical their whole life. They the type who debunks everything, who always got a logical explanation for why something ain't real or possible. When they first meet you, they probably trying to figure you out from a psychological perspective. They might be noticing your body language, analyzing your speech patterns, categorizing you into some personality type they learned about, but then they look into your eyes. And every logical explanation they ever learned just went out the window, because what they see in your eyes can't be measured by no scientific instrument, can't be explained by no psychological theory, can't be categorized into no personality type. They see something that defies everything they thought they knew about human connection. They feel something that their rational mind can't explain away. Your eyes create an experience that bypasses their logical mind completely and speaks directly to something deeper. Something they didn't even believe existed. They might try to rationalize it at first. This is just oxytocin. This is just pattern recognition. But deep down, they know they experience something that their science can't explain. In your eyes, they see depths that can't be measured. They feel energy that can't be quantified. They experience something that challenges their entire worldview. Your eyes force them to consider that maybe there's more to reality than what they can prove in a lab. Maybe there's more to human connection than chemical reactions. They realizing that some of the most important truths can't be proven. They can only be experienced. The fifth type is the narcissist. This person is used to being the center of attention everywhere they go. They walk in a room and expect all eyes on them. They believe they're superior to most people around them. They got this way of making everything about them. Other people's stories become opportunities for them to tell better stories about themselves. Other people's problems become chances for them to show how they would have handled it better. They charm people when they want something. They manipulate situations to their advantage. They good at making people feel special when it benefits them, then discarding those same people when they no longer useful. This person probably got a history of broken relationships because they can't genuinely connect with people. They see others as extensions of themselves, not as separate individuals with their own value. When they meet you, they probably expecting the same thing they always get. I mean, it's people being impressed by them, people wanting their attention, people trying to please them. They might start with their usual charm offensive, telling you how different you are from other people, making you feel like you've been chosen by them. They expecting you to be grateful for their attention. They expecting you to compete for their approval. They expecting to be able to control the dynamic between y'all. But then they look into your eyes and something happens that never happens to them. They see themselves reflected back, but not the grandiose image they've been projected. They see the real them, the insecure them, the empty them, the scared them. Your eyes don't buy into their performance. Your eyes don't get impressed by their charm. Your eyes don't compete for their attention. Your eyes just look at them with this calm knowing that says, I see who you really are. Underneath all that, and that terrifies them. In your eyes, they see a type of power they can't manipulate or control. They see someone who ain't impressed by their games because you're operating on a completely different level. Your eyes reflect back their emptiness without judgment, but also without buying into their illusions. They can't charm you. They can't manipulate you. Your eyes offer them something they ain't had in years, the possibility of being genuinely seen and accepted for who they really are, not for the image they've been projecting. The sixth type is the energy vampire. This person feeds off other people's energy, emotions, and attention. They the type who always got drama in their life, and somehow that drama always becomes everybody else's problem. They master manipulators, but different from narcissists. Where narcissists want admiration, energy vampires want your life force. They want to drain you dry and leave you feeling empty. They might be the friend who always calls with a crisis, but never wants to hear about your problems. They might be the family member who creates chaos at every gathering. They experts at making you feel guilty for not giving them what they want. They twist situations to make themselves the victim. They use people's kindness and empathy against them. When they meet you, they immediately start sizing you up. They testing to see how much they can take from you, how much drama you'll tolerate, how much negativity you'll absorb. They expecting you to be like their other victims, to feel guilty when you set boundaries, to feel responsible for their emotions, to sacrifice your own well-being for theirs. But then they look into your eyes and they hit a wall they ain't never encountered before. Because your eyes don't absorb their negativity. Your eyes don't take on their emotions. Your eyes remain calm and centered no matter what energy they trying to project. Your eyes reflect back their own emptiness to them, but don't get drained by it. They like a mirror, showing them what they putting out without absorbing it. They try their usual manipulation tactics, but your eyes don't buy it. They try to create drama, but your eyes stay peaceful. They try to make you feel guilty, but your eyes maintain clear boundaries. And for someone who's been successful at draining other people, your eyes just show them someone who can't be drained. Your eyes show them what healthy boundaries look like, what self-respect looks like, what it means to give from overflow instead of emptiness. Your eyes offer them something revolutionary, the possibility of filling their own cup instead of constantly trying to empty other people's. The seventh type is the lost young person. This person represents a whole generation that's drowning in comparison, anxiety, and artificial connection. They probably spend more time on screens than in real relationships. They know more about virtual reality than their own reality. They've been raised on social media where everything's fake and filtered, where people only show their highlight reels, where worth gets measured in likes, follows, and views. They might seem confident online, but in real life they're struggling with anxiety, depression, loneliness. They don't know how to have genuine conversations. They don't know how to sit with themselves without constant stimulation. They probably addicted to their phones, to instant gratification, to constant entertainment. They can't focus for long periods. They get bored easy. They need constant validation from strangers online. Real intimacy scares them. Real vulnerability feels dangerous. Real connection seems impossible when you've been trained to interact through screens and filters. They feel hopeless about the future. They feel like the world is ending. They feel like there's no point in trying to build something real when everything feels temporary and artificial. When they meet you, they might not know how to act. They used to performing online, but they don't know how to just be with another person. But then they look into your eyes, and for the first time in years, they experience what real connection feels like. Your eyes ain't filtered. Your eyes ain't performing. Your eyes ain't trying to get likes or follows. Your eyes just present authentic, real. In your eyes, they see what they've been searching for through all them screens. Genuine human connection, real acceptance, authentic love. They see that it's possible to connect without filters, without performance, without pretending to be perfect. They see that vulnerability ain't something to be scared of. Your eyes show them what presence looks like, what it means to be fully here, fully engaged, fully alive in this moment. Your eyes become their gateway back to reality, back to themselves, back to the possibility of building something real in a world that feels increasingly artificial. But now you probably wonder why you got this power in the first place. The answer to that question, about to change everything. You might ask why you have this spiritual power. You wasn't chosen by accident. You was handpicked by the universe itself for a mission that most people can't even comprehend. See, the world been taken over by systems designed to keep people asleep, disconnected and afraid. And you a walking, breathing antidote to all that poison. That's why your eyes carry frequencies that wake people up. That's why one look from you can shatter years of programming. That's why people either love you instantly or try to avoid you completely, because you a threat to the matrix they've been living in. But here's the real talk. That power you carry made you a target from day one. Dark forces been trying to break you, corrupt you, or eliminate you since you was young. They knew if you ever figured out who you really was, you'd be dangerous to their whole operation. Think about your childhood. That it wasn't easy, was it? Bet you faced more trauma, more pain, more challenges than most kids your age. That wasn't coincidence. That was warfare. They was trying to break your spirit before you could understand your power. Maybe you grew up in a toxic household. Maybe you faced abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Maybe you was bullied, rejected, or made to feel like you didn't belong nowhere. Maybe you struggled with depression, anxiety, or addiction. All of that was designed to make you give up on yourself. But here's what they didn't count on. You got divine protection that runs deeper than anything they could throw at you. Every time they tried to break you, you somehow found the strength to get back up. Every time they tried to kill your spirit, something inside you refused to die. That something was your mission, your purpose, the reason you came here. See, you ain't just some regular person who happened to develop spiritual gifts. You a spiritual warrior who volunteered for this assignment before you was even born. You looked at this dark world and said, I'll go. I'll take on whatever they throw at me because somebody gotta help the people wake up. And the universe said, bet. But we're going to have to put you through some things to prepare you. You're going to have to face the darkness so you can understand how to bring people out of it. You're going to have to survive what would break most people so you can help others survive too. That's why you've been through hell and came out stronger. That's why you can look at someone's pain and not be scared of it because you've been there. That's why you can offer hope to people who lost everything, because you know what it's like to lose everything and still find a way to keep going. Every scar you carry is a badge of honor. Every battle you survived made you more powerful. Every time you chose love instead of hate, forgiveness instead of bitterness, hope instead of despair, you was building the spiritual muscle you need for this mission. And now you're ready. You survived the initiation phase. You walked through the fire and came out pure gold. You faced your demons and turned them into angels. You looked death in the face and chose life anyway. That's why when people look in your eyes, they see someone who's been to hell and back and still chooses to love. They see someone who knows what real suffering looks like, but refuses to become bitter. They see someone who understands darkness but radiates light anyway. Your eyes carry the frequency of resurrection, of rising from the ashes, of finding beauty in broken places, of turning pain into purpose. And when people see that frequency, it activates something in them that's been dormant. But you also protect it in ways most people can't see. You got angels assigned to you. You got ancestors watching over you. You got the universe itself backing you up. Every time the enemy tries to take you out, they run into forces they can't see or understand. That's why you're still here when you probably shouldn't be. That's why doors keep opening for you, even when everything looks closed. That's why the right people keep showing up in your life at exactly the right time. You ain't walking this path alone, baby. You got backup that most people can only dream of. And your mission is to help other people walk out of their own darkness the same way you walked out of yours. You here to show them that no matter how broken they are, they can be whole again. No matter how lost they are, they can find their way home. Every person you help wake up becomes a light in someone else's darkness. Every soul you heal goes on to heal other souls. Every heart you open goes on to open other hearts. You ain't just changing individual lives, you changing the frequency of the whole planet. That's why your work matters so much. That's why the enemy fought so hard to stop you. That's why you had to go through so much to get here. Because what you carry in ain't just personal, it's planetary. Now you understand why people get shocked when they look in your eyes, chosen one. You ain't just looking at people, you see in their souls. And when you see someone's soul, they can't hide behind their mask no more. Your eyes carry frequencies that most people ain't used to experiencing. Frequencies of unconditional love, authentic truth, spiritual power. When someone encounters these frequencies, it activates something in them that's been dormant. Some people ready for this activation. They've been waiting their whole life for someone to see them this deeply. When they meet your eyes, they feel like they finally found what they've been searching for. Other people scared of this activation. They've been hiding from their truth for so long that having it reflected back feels threatened. They might try to run or attack or dismiss what they experience. But either way, they never forget what they saw in your eyes. They might try to rationalize it, minimize it, or explain it away. But deep down, they know they encountered something real. This your gift, chosen one. This your power. This why you here. You help people remember who they really are. Underneath all their conditioning, you reflect back their magnificence when they forgot they had any. With great power comes great responsibility. Not everybody ready for what you carry. Some people gonna try to drain your energy. Others gonna try to manipulate or control you. That's why it's important to understand these 7 types. Know who you deal with. Protect your energy. Give your gifts to those who appreciate them, not to those who want to exploit them. You've been walking around changing lives without even knowing it. Every time you look someone in the eyes with genuine love and acceptance, you planting seeds that might not grow till years later. So keep doing what you're doing, chosen one. Keep looking at people with those eyes full of love and truth. Keep seeing their souls when they forgot they had one. Because in a world full of masks and performance and fake connections, you the real deal. You're the reminder that we all souls having a human experience. And that's why what people see in your eyes shocks the hell out of them, because they finally seeing what real looks like. Welcome to your power, chosen one. Welcome to your purpose. You here to love people back to life, one soul at a time, one moment of recognition at a time, one shock and revelation of truth at a time.